Curbside Cleanup started as a way to help keep the city clean. It provides residents with a way to dispose of those items that can be harder to get rid of on your own, like a couch or a mattress or a refrigerator. And it helps keep the city clean by reducing the likelihood that those items will end up piling in a resident's backyard or ending up somewhere they might not belong, like a city park.
The Curbside Cleanup program is becoming increasingly challenging for the haulers to accomplish as well, and as a result has become very costly. And most importantly, it's not environmentally sustainable. So in 2019, the City Council requested that the Sustainability Commission study the environmental footprint of the Curbside Cleanup program. So during that year's cleanup, the Commission contracted for a robust study of over 2,000 of the cleanup piles, and the evaluators documented the materials that were on the curb right after the haulers came through. That enabled us to get a true snapshot of what was left at the curb after all the scavengers were done. And all that material ended up getting landfilled. The study found that over 35% of the items in the piles could have been reused or recycled. The pictures taken speak for themselves. As you can see, there were perfectly good couches, mattresses, children's toys, patio chairs, and so on, which ended up getting trashed in a landfill. Often, we hear from residents that the stuff that they put out at the curb always gets picked up by, the reusers, and nothing of quality gets put in the garbage truck. But that's not what this study showed. This program generates a lot of waste. To put it in perspective, the Curbside Cleanup program generates about 8% of the city's total residential garbage program, which is equivalent to about 5 weeks of regular trash collection. These landfills are reaching capacity. There are a few landfills that have proposed expanding capacity, including the Burnsville landfill. If that landfill were to expand as planned, it will likely become a permanent fixture on our landscape, easily seen by Bloomington residents who live near the Minnesota River Valley. And it's something that the city and many residents are opposed to. So for several reasons, including escalating costs, logistical issues for the haulers, the challenges of finding places willing to accept large amounts of trash all at once, and most importantly, the environmental issues, the Curbside Cleanup program really can't continue as it has in the past.
The Sustainability Commission worked with the city solid waste staff to propose a new approach to the program that's more consistent with the city's strategic priorities, which includes environmental sustainability. The proposed plan would allow each household that's in the city's garbage and recycling program to receive 2 vouchers every year that are good for the collection of a bulky item. A resident would schedule the pickup at any time during the year with the city. And in the voucher system, another benefit is that some of these materials could actually get recycled. It's pretty difficult to do it in the current cleanup program, but when they're collected individually like that in smaller amounts, it would be easier for the city to coordinate with recyclers to be able to recycle that material. In addition to the vouchers, the city would also organize 1 or 2 citywide cleanup events each year where any Bloomington resident, not just ones that are on the in the city garbage and recycling collection program, but any resident, including folks who live in condominiums and apartment buildings, could bring a variety of items to a central location to be disposed of on that day. This type of event would be open to more people across the city, more residents, and the materials again could be sorted into different categories for recycling or reuse.
So it costs over $1 million to provide the curbside cleanup annually, and this is funded through the curbside cleanup fee on a resident's utility bill. However, if the final cost figures do reflect the savings that we've anticipated, that curbside cleanup fee that residents pay on their utility bill would be reduced and adjusted accordingly.
We've created a Let's Talk Bloomington project page that's accessible online to share information on the proposed plan and to provide opportunities for public engagement and feedback. There's also a survey available that will be live until the end of March, where residents can provide feedback through the survey. Finally, we will be holding 2 community listening sessions on March 10th and March 23rd, where residents can learn more about the plan and provide us with feedback.
We recognize that the Curbside Cleanup program is and has been very popular, but for several reasons, it just isn't sustainable to continue the program the way it is. And we look for your help and feedback. We want to hear from you to ensure that the new service options that we come up with really reflect the needs of the community. So please join us in setting the course for a new way to handle bulky materials that supports our current needs and those of the future.